What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Mythic Legion's Advent of Decay. This is Myria Goldenbranch. Another really cool figure. I'm glad that we got another female elf, and she's pretty cool. She's actually a sub-race of the elves called the Whisperlings. And she is a Whisperling, and from Whisper Vale. That's actually where they live. Pretty cool that we're getting sub-races of the elves. We're getting different types of races, like we saw actually with, who was it? Malekith, or Malachi, excuse me. Malachi, I said Malekith for some reason, I don't know why. But as we've seen with Malachi, he's actually a sub-race mixed with vampires. So there's a lot of different sub-races going on, and I'm kind of interested and intrigued to see more of these sub-races. She actually has the ability to use arcane magic, which is basically the harnessing of the power of the trees. And I'm assuming it might be something similar to what Faunus is able to use. He can actually erect trees, large trees, as a form of defense around Queen Artemis's castle. So I'm assuming maybe she can do a little bit of that, maybe not to the extent of Faunus, but something around that area. She's also ageless. She's got heightened dexterity and speed. And it's pretty cool that the Whisperlings specifically can use arcane magic. That's pretty awesome that they specifically sought that out. But pretty cool little read-up right there. She is a goodie. She does work with Queen Artemis. That's pretty cool. I would say that as far as the accessory route goes, she doesn't really come with a whole lot. She's kind of basic. Okay, as far as accessories go, as far as her weaponry does go, this is pretty much it right here. She comes with a shield, a dagger, and one sword. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's kind of a little bit surprising that she didn't come with, at least one more weapon or something like that. Maybe one new sculpted weapon would have been nice here. But the first weapon that we have here is this dagger that we've seen before. It's got a pretty much like a silver on for the blade, and then silver for the handle portion right here, the handle guard, I should say. And then for the handle itself, it's a nice brown paint. And then we have silver for the butt end of the dagger. Up next, we have the shield. Looks pretty good. I like the nice green wood. It almost could be like a moss-covered wood if you wanted to go that route, if you wanted to, assume that there is green. It does continue on to the back with different type of sculpt right here for the grooves for the wood. Looks really good. I like the metal portion. It's got this kind of bronze look to it as far as the paint goes. Nice blue little rivets going throughout the shield as well. And a little bit of black paint shading going throughout the wood to kind of bring out that green. So very nicely done with the shield. And obviously it's using the new peg system right here with the peg for them to grab onto. Next up, we kind of have one of these typical swords that came with all of the previous waves. There is a little bit of paint slop right here, and as you could see, there's paint slop right there. It's actually like a brown paint. It's not the end of the world. It's just something to point out, at least with mine. But the blade is silver, and then for the handle, it is a gold, I want to say. It's probably like a gold, and then there's a ton of black paint shading going throughout the gold. So it really is kind of hidden, that gold in there. But there's a ton of black paint shading going throughout. It looks pretty good. I think it's a little bit too much. I would have liked to see a little bit more gold in there. I feel like this character would maybe have a little bit more of a flashier sword, to be honest with you, but overall, it's fine. Okay, as far as the last two pieces that she does come with, she does include the brown belt as well, but it's already on the body. I've explained how to put those belts on prior, and you basically just have to remove the torso and then pop the belt on over the lower torso and then pop the torso back on. But here are her shoulder pauldrons, her shoulder armor. It is a nice copper, metallic, looks really good. And then we've got some gold for the little rivets right there. Flipping it around to the back, we've got some more gold rivets on the back. Pretty consistent on both sides, just opposite. And then simply plugging these into her back, you kind of want to just move her head to the side, and you see these two holes right here. And then you just want to pop those in. Might take a little bit of finessing. It's not too bad, though. And then flop that side over. And then pop this one on as well. The hair actually does help to keep the shoulder pads in place as well. I think she looks pretty good with the shoulder pads on. I think I'm going to stick with how I had her before, though, and leave her with the shoulder pads off. I just think it looks a little bit better for my liking. As far as Myria's articulation does go, I'm going to leave one shoulder pauldron off just to show you the range of motion on the other side as opposed to the one with the pauldron on. So on this side, she obviously can get her head further. On this side, it's pretty much hindered due to the pauldron. And now I'm going to just remove this pauldron to get the full range of motion here. As you can see, you could do a full 360 without the shoulder armor on. She can look up a little bit higher than with the pads on. Obviously, she's not going to be able to look up very much at all. She does look down. She can pivot side to side. And let's see if she's got some job turkeys. Oh, a little turkey. A little bit of turkey. The arms go up. And that's maxed out right there. And then down. Full 360 rotation at the arm. That one was for you, Strident. Single bend at the elbow. A little bit more than 90 degrees on that elbow bend. And then we do have a swivel at the elbow as well. A swivel at the gauntlet. Swivel at the wrist. You're going to have to hold that gauntlet to get that swivel. And then a bend, hinge joint at the wrist. She does have a diaphragm joint which can crunch forward and back. That's her maxed out going back. This is forward, and it does pivot side to side, and it does twist also. She does have a waist swivel as well. She can do the splits about that far. And then the legs go forward, back, upper thigh swivel, single jointed knee. She does have a swivel at the knee as well. Swivel at the ankle. She points the toe. There's a ratchet in that. Points the heel. Ankle pivot. And two peg holes at the bottom of her feet. Okay, as far as sculpt and paint go, she's a wonderful looking figure aesthetically. I'm pretty pleased with this head sculpt. I think it looks gorgeous. She is a lighter green skin tone with this nice little kind of gold. I want to say it's kind of like a gold and silver. Maybe my eyes are playing. A little bit of silver on this arch right here on mine. Maybe it's not with everyone, but it's a little bit of silver right there on the arch for the crown. It looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's technically a crown, but I'm going to call it that. As far as her hair goes, she's got two little like strands of shorter hair up top right here. It looks pretty cool. I do have a little bit of a quality control issue with the head right there, as you can see, as I'm having focusing issues today. I apologize. Right here, there's a little bit of a mold sculpt right there from the head. I'm going to see if I can just pop that off without ripping the paint off. And I'm ripping the paint off. Awesome. Great. Probably should have left it alone, but that's okay. I can probably paint over that. But it is something to point out as far as my quality control goes for the head. The hair color I like a lot. I think that looks really good. Kind of wish that she would have got a little bit more black paint shading going throughout the hair to kind of bring out the sculpt in this hair a little bit more. I am noticing a little bit of paint slop in this area too. It doesn't seem like she's got maybe a whole lot of love that's maybe some of the other figures got for some reason. I don't know. Maybe there was a drop off with this character or something. I don't know what happened, but the head sculpt is I gotta say, as far as some of the other head sculpts, a little bit subpar here. The gold for the braid connector is pretty cool looking. I like that. Like I said, it's a little bit sloppy around here. It's a little bit missing of the sculpt, but it's just something to point out. I said it's not a deal breaker. I'm just pointing things out. The ears look pretty well done. I like all the sculpt for the ears and the paint as far as the ears go that I can see. Everything looks pretty copacetic. No issues there. Like I said, a little bit of black paint shading would have really brought out that sculpt of this hair. And I actually really like her head sculpt, to be honest with you. Right here on her cheek, I don't know if you guys can see that, but off camera there is a little bit of like a black blemish right there. I don't know if it's coming off on camera that well. Let me try and focus here so maybe you guys can see it. It's like right there. It's like a black blemish. It's just definitely a quality control issue. It's something that's probably not on yours, but it's on mine, unfortunately. The eyes look pretty good. They're pretty much blacked out eyes. I think it looks nice, though. Nice red for the eyebrows. She does actually have some light green lipstick on, which is pretty cool. So that's nice that the lips look a little bit glossy. It does differentiate from the flat green that they gave her for her skin tone. The skin tones are consistent throughout the neck and the head, though. That's pretty good. The armor is where she shines the most. I like this nice green with the blue. You rarely see green and blue together, but I think they work, especially the shades that they decided to go with. I think if they would have went with a dark green and a blue, it wouldn't have worked. But this looks really good with the gold lining going throughout. In between the blue and the green. I think that looks really nicely done. Very fluid, very consistent going throughout the rest of the body. We've got some like silver paint for the Under Armour pieces right here, the chainmail. That looks really good. The elbow pieces are kind of like a copper, and it continues throughout the gauntlets. The thigh armor as well with the blue and the gold. Looks really good. So a nice little differentiation between the chest plate with the blue and the green and the gold. And then we've got some copper with the gold and blue. So that's nice too. I can appreciate that, definitely. The green and the blue and the gold kind of continue throughout the legs and the thighs onto the knee pads where there's just green with gold outlining going throughout. I like that we got a little leaf design right here for her knee pad. That looks really cool. I think that fits the character beautifully. I like these leg boots. Looks really cool with the little swivel designs or swirly design right there. Looks pretty nice. She's got a nice little orange crotch covering piece right here. That looks nicely done, and it's pretty much just a flat orange. There's no paint shading or anything like that going on. She does have some green for the bottom of the boot and then brown throughout the rest of the boot, wherever you don't see green. On the back of there, you also have some paint for the Under Armour, as I showed for the arms. It's consistent throughout the legs here. They decided to go with a silver peg for the knee joints, which I think is pretty well done, seeing as we don't really need these joints painted anymore like Wave 1 did. As long as it matches what's supposed to be sculpted right here and painted, then I'm fine with it. A nice black strap for the boot, and then a silver buckle. Nicely done. Okay, as far as her packaging does go, it's in this single-carded Mythic Legions packaging with the Mythic Legions logo on the bottom, the Four Horsemen logo on the upper right. On the left, it says mythiclegions.com, sourcehorseman.com, which is the forum, and storehorseman.com. Flipping it around to the back, we've got some beautiful artwork, which is also featured in the inside our artwork for the Mythic Legions comic issue number 1. On this side, we have their Klan logo. On this side, we have Myria's picture. And there's Myria's little read-up. If you want to pause it and read it, you can. Okay, as far as her size comparisons go, on the left, we've got a Marvel Legends Luke Cage on the Hyperion body mold. On the right, we've got Multiple Man on the Bucky Cat body mold. Okay, back with more Marvel Legends. On the left, we've got Psylocke. And on the right, we've got Valkyrie. Okay, next up, we've got a WWE Elite figure on the left in Shawn Michaels. On the right, we've got a DC Universe Classics Hawkman. Okay, and last up, we've got a Motu Classics in Vicor on the left. And on the right, we've got Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. Okay, and as far as my final thoughts, my final verdict for Myria Goldenbranch, she's a nice figure. She doesn't really come with, I feel like, especially some of these female characters, they should come with some of the newly sculpted, especially her, I think. If you're going to introduce a new sub-race, I mean, she should come with a little bit more panache than usual. I feel like, maybe a newly sculpted bow, quiver, maybe even one of the new swords, whether it's the broadsword or that shorter sword. I think maybe the shorter sword would fit her a little bit better, seeing as she does. She is a little bit on the swifter side as far as how she battles and stuff and whatnot. But I think that something's missing with her, and she does have a couple quality control issues. So, as far as my final verdict, I'll give her a 1 thumb up, and just say, beware. She might have some quality control issues. Just because mine did, though, doesn't mean that yours will too. So don't worry too much. There was a little bit of quality control issues with the head, with the sword. But as far as like loose joints or anything like that, I didn't have any issues. It's up to your discretion if you want to give her shoulder pauldrons or not. I'm not going to give them to her. I just wish the paint was done a little bit better, just a little bit better. But these are things I have to point out, because if I don't point them out, what's the point of me doing the review, right? So, a little bit more TLC with this character. I mean, you can't always buy a weapons pack and add to the character, but something, I mean, if you're spending a little bit more, I mean, if you bought it through the Kickstarter and you spent $28, I feel like you would expect a little bit more with her. A little bit more TLC. I mean, even some of the Legion builders that you spent $22 on got extra heads and a little bit more accessories than she got. She just kind of came bare bones, I feel like, a little bit. But overall, I'm still pretty happy to have her. I don't regret, getting her or anything like that. So I think you'll still enjoy her if you decide to pick her up. She is the only one, a part of her sub-race that we've received as far as the Whisperlings go. And I don't know. If you did pick her up, I hope you enjoy her. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like Myria Goldenbranch? Do you not? Let me know in the comments below, though. That always helps. And hit that like button if you like the content and you want to see more. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome. And be sure to hit the bell for notifications until you see 2 little parentheses hanging over the bell. That way you'll get all notifications. But that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. You guys have a great day. Enjoy your figures. Have fun. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.